And we're back talking about the weird and wonderful Shoalhaven. I don't like the Shoalhaven. I talk a lot of shit about it, but you know, not too bad. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here still, would I? So today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of different places, and I was actually going to venture out, but it's raining, so here I am. So firstly, I'm going to talk about one that I first was kind of made aware of as a kid. So growing up at Century Point, the golf course, it was a quicker route to run across the golf course to go to certain friends' houses that lived on that side of town, rather than walk all the way around. I was always creeped out by the golf course in the daytime. Never was given an explanation why. A friend of my sister's came up with this story about a lady being found in the dam on the golf course with golf balls as eyes, and it just sounded ridiculous, but it still creeped me out as a kid anyway, so you know, that could have been a little bit extra why I was so scared. But it wasn't until I was a teenager that I was actually walking across with my boyfriend at the time, and I swore just for a second, and it was actually daylight, I swore for a second that I saw a woman standing there watching us, and then she was gone. So I've had a couple of people from Century Point actually say, you know, walking home from the club or whatever, they actually did see this same woman standing there. So I've been inspired to actually look into the golf course, and she was a real person, so, and it's still unsolved, so I'll be very delicate with this. So the dam across from the 9th hole is actually where she was found. So cause of death was head injuries and then drowned. So whether or not she stumbled into the dam and drowned with the head injuries, or she was dragged into the dam with the head injuries, we just don't know. So it was Lillian Rigby, aged 66, and it was January 15th, 1987 when this occurred. So she'd been reported missing the day before by her son, and she'd only moved from England to Century Point in September 1986. So like 12 months beforehand. Fuck. Shit. Yeah. So, remains unsolved. But yeah, you can definitely feel something there. And I'm not even sure whether the attack on her occurred there or not, but you know, there's definitely a feeling there. Now, moving on to Milbank Road, and it's the whole road actually, and a lot of what I'm going to talk about today are all more feelings rather than the sightings themselves. I go with feelings more than what I see, you know, because we see sometimes what we want to see, but feelings, yeah, you can't shake that feeling. So, Milbank Road, 1829, Prosper de Mestre received a land deed naming the property Terra, so, you know, like Terra Nullis. So the homestead Millbank house actually still stands on Milbank Road, and Prosper de Mestre himself, he actually passed away in 1844. So if you actually have been along Milbank Road, especially late at night, early hours of the morning, there's a really eerie feeling there. And it's not just a spiritual eeriness either. It's like I don't know, the sky's different and everything. Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. So I'm not talking about a haunting in particular, the feeling. Someone needs to go and investigate it. Definitely, that whole road. So, not too far away from there, Jindy Mill. And once again, if you've been to Jindy Mill, even in the daytime, you can feel it. You can totally feel it. So, I don't believe that the convicts who actually built this place were treated very nicely. I believe that there was some mistreatment and possibly some passing just from the elements, and the elements alone. can do that. It's not uncommon. So Jindy Mill, Greenwell Point Road, Pyre, was built in 1830 by convict labour. Who was responsible for this? Alexander Berry. Twitch. So Pyre was known as Swamp Paddock back then. Lovely Swamp Paddock. But, you know, as you know, it is quite swampy there. And you know, if you want to build on swampy land, you're going to have hauntings. So, like, even without treating your convicts like shit. So, I actually love Jindy Mill as a place, you know, to visit. But yeah, it's definitely got a presence. And this next one, Tianjarra Falls, I've had my own experiences at Tianjarra Falls I'm not going to talk about, but this witness, 20-year-old male, and this was extremely recent as well, got to Tianjarra Falls just before sunset because they wanted to take photos, okay? And they witnessed what they said were lights come up out of the falls and shoot straight up into the sky, and they vanished. So, unidentified aerial phenomenon, 100%. I would probably say UFO, unidentified flying object, because yeah, there was a noise reported. So, it wasn't just aerial phenomenon, it's a flying object. So I'm going to leave it at that today. And I will actually venture out. I'm going to do a couple of graves that I'm allowed to do.